This mini lecture will help you to learn how to avoid dropped quotations in a research paper. First of all, what is a dropped quotation? A dropped quotation occurs when a quotation is not properly introduced by the writer of a research paper. The writer has simply opened quotation marks, typed material word for word from a source, and then closed quotation marks. Here's an example of a dropped quotation. This is in a paragraph from a research paper over the lottery, the short story by Shirley Jackson. And in this case, the writer has just dropped a quotation into the middle of this paragraph without any lead-in material provided in his or her own words. So that we have the quotation in red. The morning of June 27th was clear and sunny with the fresh warmth of a full summer day. The flowers were blossoming profusely and the grass was richly green. But as you can see, no lead-in material was provided by the writer. Here, the writer corrects the dropped quotation, and in this case, you can see in blue, the writer has provided some lead-in material before that quotation from the short story. The lead-in material is in blue. In fact, the setting presents images of fertility, not of death, as in these opening lines. And then the quotation from the short story is provided. You always need to create lead-in material in the form of either a lead-in phrase or a lead-in sentence in your own words to introduce a quotation from a source. A lead-in phrase will normally need to be punctuated with a comma, as in this example, the narrator states, comma, and then the quotation from a short story. In case of an accident, anyone seeing her dead on the highway would know at once that she was a lady. Here's an example of a lead-in sentence. A lead-in sentence is just that. It's a group of words that could stand on its own and be punctuated as a sentence, but in this case it introduces a quotation. So instead of placing a period here, we put a colon, and then it's followed by the quotation from the story. The narrator explains the grandmother's desire to dress in nice clothes for the trip, colon, and then the quotation. In case of an accident, anyone seeing her dead on the highway would know at once that she was a lady. Another option is to integrate a quotation into your own sentence. In that case, you would not need to use a comma unless the grammatical structure of the sentence requires it. Here's an example. The grandmother is described as wearing a nice dress and even a corsage for the trip so that, open quotations, in case of an accident, anyone seeing her dead on the highway would know at once that she was a lady. Basically, don't just drop a quotation into your paper. Always make sure that every time you use a direct quotation, you always introduce it properly in your own words.